we move on to discuss the 49ers getting dominated by the Green Bay Packers. And, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. So the 49ers, obviously we know some of the injuries that they faced this season, and we know the guys that they will not be getting back. The Brandon Ayuk's, the Javon Hargraves, Dre Greenlaw, who's still injured, still from last year's Super Bowl Achilles injury. By the way, they opened up his practice window, or whatever the hell that means. They say that all the time. I don't even know what that means. But essentially, I mean, I guess he's gonna be, back this week. And yeah, they had those injuries that they had, and then we have the injuries. Brock Purdy, he hurt his shoulder. It was announced on Friday that he wasn't gonna be able to go. Charvarius Ward came back after the leave that he had over his daughter passing away. Such a tragic situation there. He's been back at practice this week, but it seems like 1 week of practice is not enough to get back into game shape for him. So he's out. Nick Bosa, that hip/oblique injury that he tweaked against the Seahawks by overcompensating on one side, leading to the other hip getting tweaked. He's out, and he was out. He was announced to be out on Friday as well. And I will go to bed on Saturday thinking, yeah, we're completely up against it. And then I wake up Sunday morning to read, oh yeah, the best left tackle in football is out as well. He can't go because of his ankle injury. And Trent Williams, that he was questionable about throughout the week, but I wasn't really majorly concerned about it because he was questionable about it last week, and he ended up going. This time around, just didn't shake the right way, I guess, and he's out, and yeah, and then you're in a point where you're just at the mercy of the higher authority. I mean, yeah. And look. Honestly, look. When you're missing those sort of players, it's hard to compete in the National Football League. Especially going up against the Green Bay Packers on the road, an NFC contending team. They came into that game 7-3. Now they're 8-3, and they haven't played the best football this season. But they entered the game 7-3, and they're still an NFC contender. And playing at Lambeau is a hard atmosphere to play out away, especially with the away quarterback missing the blindside blocker, missing the best the blindside offensive lineman, protecting the blind side, missing the best defender on the team, a former DPOI. Missing your star cornerback. It was always gonna be difficult, but there's certain keys when you're missing guys here and there that you have. There's certain key to the games. Number one, the San Francisco, the 49ers, for them to at least compete in this one, there's a lot of things that they need to do. You gotta be clean in terms of turnovers. You have to be clean in terms of penalties. Let me rephrase that again. You have to let me say that again. You have to be clean in terms of turnovers. You have to be clean in terms of penalties. Offensively, your star skill players that are available, like Debo Samuel, CMC, all those, they need to be the ones that are making the big plays, that are carrying the backup quarterbacks. You need a lot of trick plays and out of motion, a lot of easy throws for the quarterback to make things simple for him. And you gotta make it easy for the quarterback. You cannot be in obvious passing situations. You cannot be in third and longs. You have to be in, third and manageables always. You need to have great production on first and second down, so you're not in obvious passing situations, and you're not forcing him to just drop back and read. You gotta just make it as easy as you can for the backup quarterback playing his first game in, I think it was 4 years at Lambeau. Ladies and gentlemen, the San Francisco 49ers did absolutely none of those 5 keys. They all 5 just complete and utter failure. And that is why you get embarrassed and get dominated by the Green Bay Packers 38-10. A Green Bay Packers team that, honestly didn't even play that good of a football game. Jordan Love, he had a few throws here and there where I thought the 49ers secondary should have trounced on. He also hit Christian Watson deep for a potential 60-yard touchdown at the end of the half to break open the game in the first half. Christian Watson drops it because Christian Watson is not a good football player. There's, this is it was embarrassing, but it could have been worse. And honestly, it shouldn't have been. It should have been a way closer of a football game because you're missing the injuries and all that, and those can be the difference maker plays, but the constant penalties making offensive drives just impossible to maintain. Debo, CMC had looked horrible. Jordan Mason in his that one run Jordan Mason had was more production than what we saw of CMC all game. CMC committed that turnover. Brandon Allen hit a really good throw to Debo Samuel. That leads to an interception. And then, I say no turnovers. Brandon Allen, he fumbles the ball. Ladies and gentlemen, that fumble, that Debo drop that leads to an interception directly led to Green Bay Packers 14 points in this ball game. Directly led to the Green Bay Packers 14 points into this ball game. That completely broke open the game in that second half. And then later on, CMC just couldn't maintain anything going. He eventually ended up fumbling after, they were already down, I believe, 31-10 at that point. So, it was a fumble with the game dead in the waters, yes. But that happened as well. And the penalties, the penalties offensively, are killers trying to maintain drives. Defensively, that PI in the end zone, which honestly, I didn't think it was a PI. I thought, I forgot what Niners quarterback, I think it was Ronaldo Green or whatever it was. I thought he got there in time. They ended up calling it a PI, and then it led to Josh Jacobs getting a touchdown. The 49ers defense, oh my God. I mean, this is, I thought that they were going to come out with some spirit and with some swagger, knowing the situation the Niners offense is facing without the quarterback. And yes, you're missing Nick Bosa, but the amount of missed tackles. Fred Warner, he was absolutely amazing earlier this season. But slowly, his game has deteriorated a bit, and there was some ankle injury he suffered in that Patriots game. That probably has a factor in it. I'm not denying that. But the missed tackles, it starts from the top. And when your star linebacker, the man, the captain of the defense is missing tackles, well, the 49ers, the physicality, the physicality, the spirit that they have of being the most physical team in the league, it is gone. They are a bunch of... I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but they have lost that physicality. And it's something they have to, if they have any, shot in the water of, sneaking into the back door of making the playoffs, they need to get that physicality back. Debo Samuel, he's washed. Since that great 2021 season that he had, where honestly I thought he was damn near deserving of the league MVP with the season he had. I believe Cooper Kupp won the Offensive Player of the Year because he had the Triple Crown that year. But you know what? For me, and I am a little biased because I am a 49ers fan. For me, from what I saw, when you compare what Debo did to Cooper Kupp, Cooper Kupp was great. But I thought Debo had a better year that year. If you saw the combination of what he did as a wide receiver and as a runner and the big plays that he made in big moments that kept 49ers alive, making that postseason push that ended up leading to an NFC Championship run, I thought he was absolutely sensational. And he was sensational in the playoffs as well for the 49ers. But you take away that Debo, you go away from that season, every year since then, he has deteriorated into this player now that I don't even recognize anymore. He could not break the edge like he used to. The way, you got him on the edge, he would, it was really, really hard to cut down his angle and to be able to push him out of bounds. He was always able, he's always been able to just be a superior athlete, especially when you get him on the edge. He doesn't look like that sort of player that can break away from, players anymore. What he used to do in terms of breaking tackles, I mean, it was a guarantee. Anytime he caught the ball, he was breaking at least 1 to 2 tackles, just out of a guarantee. It was just a guarantee. It was a guarantee. He was gonna always break 1 or 2 tackles. Prime Debo. This Debo Samuel, I mean, as soon as he catches the ball, he's a sitting duck. Maybe he'll break 1 or 2 tackles every other player, or every 3 or 4 plays, but not the great Debo Samuel that we saw before. And then the drop, the drop to let the interception. I was blaming Brandon Allen at first, just watching it because I thought it was a high throw. That was a drop, went right through Debo Samuel's hands. Butterfingers on national TV. I don't know if it was on national TV. I'm sitting here living in Dallas and I watched it on Fox, so I'm assuming a lot of America got to see it. Went straight through his hands. I mean, what can I say? What am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do with that? Debo Samuel this season, 34 receptions for 511 yards. What am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do with that? 1 touchdown the entire season. What am I supposed to do with that? 1 touchdown the entire season. What am I supposed to do with that? He's washed. He is capital WASHED. Washed. And he's been a great player and all that, but the throwing, the incident in Tampa Bay with pushing Tabor Pepper and getting. No, I'm not even worried about Tabor Pepper. I'm worried the fact that him like arrogantly like going up to Jake Moody telling him to log in as if a kicker's job is not hard enough, and then now just his performances on the contract that he's on. I mean, what am I supposed to do with that? And then look, it's I don't know how much time do I have. Yeah, look, wow. By the way, it's been 13 minutes so far. It seemed like it's only been 5 minutes. That's how frustrating of a loss this is for the 49ers. And we can talk about Green Bay is cute. I saw a few Green Bay Packers fans, in my DMs. Look, when it matters, y'all can get, this reminds me a lot of the Packers. The last time the Packers beat actually not the last time, but the Packers when y'all played us when we were injury real team as well in 2020 when we had nobody, we ended up missing the playoffs. So I destroyed us then too. Y'all do a really good job of, getting on us when we're down. Y'all do a really good job of that, but in the big moments in the playoffs, we're 3-0 against y'all. And y'all better pray, you Packer fans. Y'all better pray that the 49ers, don't get into this playoffs, which is looking highly unlikely just what we've seen so far. Because, we'll get y'all again. We'll get y'all again. If we have to go to Lambeau, we will. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I don't think we're going to get in just based on what we've seen so far. But, yeah, Jordan Love, he's okay. He played another mediocre ball game, made a few throws here and there. Should have thrown a pick. Josh Jacobs, 26 carries for 106 yards going up against a 49ers defense that, just didn't know how to tackle. I saw that clip where Sauce Gardner was a little frustrated or seemed a little frustrated by the Jets head coach or the Jets interim coach, Jeff Ulbrich, showing, showing the video on how to tackle. Based on that, I think the 49ers defensive coordinator, who I'm not naming, by the way, not because I don't know his name, but because he doesn't warrant me mentioning his name. That's how useless he's been this season. Maybe he needs to show that to these 49ers defenders as well. It's just absolutely devastating. And the 49ers now, they're on the outside looking in. The one positive, I guess, and no 49er fan wants to talk about this positive, I will, because, it's the truth. The 49ers have what's the word? are in the NFC West. And the NFC West is 0-5 this week. Or the NFC West did finish 1-3 this week, and the one win came, with the Seahawks. They beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals lost, the Rams lost, the Niners lost. And Seahawks were the only team that got the win, and so the 49ers are still only one game below the three teams in the NFC West ahead of them: the Rams, Cardinals, and Seahawks. But the issue with that is all those three teams have a tiebreaker lead over the 49ers, and all three teams have a considerably easier schedule than the 49ers as well. So the 49ers will have to finish ahead of those three teams just based on how the tiebreakers go, and do that with a better record. So yeah, the 49ers season is in danger, is on life support, and I guess they have another must win on Sunday against Buffalo. That'll be scary as a Niners fan, but yeah, it's really, really sad, the state of this team right now.